third part of our lesson. What we're going to do in this lesson is we're going to create the 3-block design that we earlier sketched with our isometric views. So in order to do this, the first thing you want to do is you want to go to File, New Design if you haven't already, and then you're going to save it. What we're going to save this one is as is 2.2 space 3 blocks, very original, and then you're going to put your last name. Notice you're under engineering last name and still in lesson 2.2. We're going to hit save and now we're good. Now for this we're going to make our 3 components again, which you guys should be good at doing now. If you want to go ahead and do it, you can. I'm going to make it with you. I go to my original saved file, I hit new component. My first component name is going to be called my prism. I hit OK. Oh, also, just to make sure, you're in document settings, units are in inches. Make sure you're in inches. After I do my active component here, my active component goes back to my original file. I'm going to create a new component from there, and I'm going to call that a triangular prism. Still pretty similar to what we did before. I go back to my original file name here, and the only thing different here is I'm going to call this one, I don't know, arc. All right. It doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it irregular figure, whatever. But the key is that you're going to make that one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create all 3 figures and we're going to attach them to themselves. Now in order to do this, we are going to have to start with one of the figures. It doesn't really matter which one you start with. I'm going to start with the prism just because I feel like it. So I am going to click on prism and go highlight that. This is going to be my first component. If you do not change the components, you're not going to be able to change the appearance later on, which you really want to do. So I am going to go to sketch, and I'm going to sketch from the bottom up again. So I go look at my top view and I click on my figure. All right, now the base of this is a 1x3 triangle. So I go to my 1x3 rectangle. I click on rectangle. I'm going to hit the origin, and I am going to move 1 unit up, tab, and 3 units here. When I do that, I got my rectangle, 1 inch by 3 inch. I'm going to hit the Finish Sketch button. I'm going to hit my Home button. All right, I'm going to pinch out. So now I got my figure right here, and now I hit Extrude. I'm going to extrude this thing. How high does it go? It goes 9 inches. So I hit the number 9, and I hit Enter. When I pinch out, I notice the figure looks like this. All right. Hopefully you have a similar figure. Now you may say, wait, it's going off my grid. Well, that's okay. The grid is constantly expanding. There really is no grid. Now the next one I'm doing, which is a little tough, is I'm going to create a triangular prism. All right, now I'm going to create these as 3 different things and then just use the move button to move them in. And then I can show you how to lock them in. Later on, we're going to sketch specific sides and everything like that. So now I'm going to go hit the eyelet of my triangular prism, making this one invisible. I am going to do sketch, and remember what I said before with triangular prisms, you're going to want to sketch from the front. All right, now when I do this, I'm going to sketch a, right here, just click on here, not on the rectangle, anywhere else. I'm going to hit my line, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a 3-inch line from the origin. All right, I could try to drag 3 and drop it perfectly, or I can hit the number 3. As you notice, it goes perfectly even with the rectangle here. I am going to get another line from this point, and I'm going to go 6 up. So I usually just drag it up a little bit, make sure I'm going in the correct direction, and then I'm going to hit 6. After that, I click on my line, and I connect my 2 points, and I have my triangle. Now, I hit escape just to make sure I'm off everything, and you have to make sure this turns blue. If it doesn't turn blue, like I said before, you can drag your dimension out of here. And it doesn't get highlighted like that when you move your mouse over it, it means you're not connecting somewhere in your triangle, so you're going to have to redo it. I hit Finish Sketch, I hit Home. Now I can see this written on my rectangle once again. I don't know why I keep on putting them on my rectangle. And I go to my Extrude button. I click on here. If I go to Extrude, and say I want to extrude it how it's 3. So how do I know this is 3? Well, there's a 3 inches up here. That means it goes 3 deep. And this was 3 inches by 6 inches. That's how I knew that. But if I go 3, it goes actually through my rectangle. I remember we said before, we don't want pieces going through pieces. An easy way to do this is just extrude it in the opposite direction, so we can extrude it with a -3. Notice it's still fine, it's just touching in the opposite direction. All right, and then we have our 2 figures. If I click up here, I can see, hit home, I got my rectangle and I got my triangle. So now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to make our arc, which is the difficult one. So I click on arc, making these 2 go invisible. Now when you do the arc, we're going to learn a new couple tools. So first thing, you're obviously going to create a sketch, and you're going to create it from the front. All right, so I click somewhere on here, and I'm creating my sketch. What I want to do is I want to make the sketch the way it looks. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking at my arc right here, and I notice if I made a rectangle, it would be a 3. The height doesn't matter. Height matters. 3 inches high. 1. The distance here. The distance here is 3 inches by 3 inches. So an easy thing to probably do would just be to create a rectangle. All right, and you can create this anywhere. This is a little different than I did in my packet. And my rectangle here is just going to be 3. And this distance is going to be 6. Now the reason this is 6 is because this is 3 inches and this is 3 inches, so the total height is 6 inches across. Now what we need to do is we need to take this out. All right, now we know this goes in 1 and this goes in 1, so those are each an inch. So what you can do here is you can go take a line from here. I can go in 1 inch. All right, so I got a line on top of a line. I'm going to take my line from here. I'm going to go in 1 inch. So now I got my figure here, and I kind of got this in the middle. So what I have to do is I have to draw a circular arc. Now the easiest way to draw a circular arc is to create a circle. Now instead of using a typical circle, I can use a 2-point circle. So I can pick 2 points, and that will give me the diameter of the circle. And my 2 points will be 1 inch away and 1 inch away. If I hit enter, it gives me a circle. And you may say, that looks nice, but I have a problem. My problem is that I have all this stuff in here. Well, that's what they make this button for. This is called the trim button. It's kind of like cutting with scissors. If I click that, I can get rid of all the pieces I don't want. I don't want a piece down here, and I don't want this middle piece. And now look at this. I can highlight this. I can even get rid of the pieces here that I put in. All right, now if I hit enter, I have my arc. All right, so what I did here was, and the 6 inches is actually this whole distance. I drew the circle in, and then I trim the pieces off. And the circle I used was create circle. I used the 2-point circle, and I just connected 1 inch and 1 inch away. And this happens to be an inch right here. I hit my finish sketch. I'm going to hit my home button. All right, and the last thing is to do is extrude. Now I know this is 3 inches wide, so I go to my extrude, I click on here, and I click 3. I go back up here, and I go, look at that. I got all 3 pictures here. Now they're touching, but they don't look like this. So now I got to move some things. So the first thing I could do is I could go, you know what? I'm going to put this triangle on top of this arc. That seems pretty easy because the bottoms are equal and it slides up to here. Now in order to do that, I'm going to start with a front view, and I'm just going to hit move the triangle. So now when I move this triangle, you can do 2 things. I can grab this middle circle right here and just slide it over. And I go, okay, it looks like it's going to be about there. Move it down a little bit. We're just estimating right now. All right, now that's part of it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my left view. And I go, oh, look at that. It's not lined up left, so I can just slide it over. And it's like sliding it into place. All right, I can keep on looking. Let's go to the right view. That looks good. I can look at it from the top, perfectly lined up, and now I'm going to hit enter. So my piece is right on top there. So now I want to move this one on top. I'm going to hit move again. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to look at the front view first. I'm going to line it up. So I'm going to move you up. That looks pretty good. I'm going to slide it over, like snap it in almost. And I say, wait, I'm still a little high. Let me move it down a little bit. All right, still a little over there. Let me slide it over a little bit. All right, and now I just check the other views. Whoop. And now looking at this figure, go, that's kind of in the middle. So let me, where's that at? Let me slide this into the middle. That looks about the middle, and I hit enter. I go, there we go. Now, here's an advanced thing that you can do. If you really want to get this precise, what you can do is there's an assemble button, and it says joint. I can actually use this and join these things specifically. So if I hit joint, and I hit like the center of this piece, I can snap it to, where's it at? Come on, snap, buddy. There. And what will happen is it'll snap directly in. I can spin this around, and the joint means it won't move ever. All right, so I'm going to hit enter. I can hit this joint right here, and watch how this works. Even if this figure, say this one right here, is like all the way over. Oops, where you at? Sorry about that. It doesn't like when it's zoomed in. If I take this one right here and say this figure is moved up here, all right, what I could do is you can use this joint feature. Pretty neat. I can go assemble, joint, and what I can do is this will click me right in the midpoint of that, and if I want to center it to the midpoint there, it actually slides it right in and clicks it right in. So that's just a quicker way. And these little things that look like sideways E's, they represent that they're actually joined. So that makes sure there's no overlap, no nothing else. So now we're pretty good. The last step is, as before, we're going to double click on this, and we're going to make sure we edit the appearance. So we go there, we go down to appearance. And with this, a neat thing is, say you want to make this made of glass. I can click on the glass button. You may have to download it. And I can say, you know what, I want a color density glass. I want a heavy blue glass. All right, I could drag that. Now that's going to be a heavy blue glass. All right, I could say, you know what, I want this painted, and I wanted a metallic paint, and I like metallic green. I could drag that green right in there. And now I have a metallic green paint job. I could say, I like stone. Stone's pretty cool, right? Marble, I don't like the stones they got there. I like wood. Maybe you like cherry or mahogany. Nice little cherry wood. Drag that cherry wood right in there. Up. See, this means a download. So in some cases you do have to download it. You click it, and watch that. It's downloaded. Click it. Look how fast. It's already downloaded. Boom. And now I can remove the faces, and I can go something else. Come on, cherry. Now I got cherry. All right. I can go, you know what? I don't like wood. I happen to like metal. Where's my metal at? Metal's a pretty neat one. I think this would look great in gold. Now you have a gold bottom. All right, so now you have a figure made of different materials. So we did the appearance before. Now we're doing the materials. I'm going to go to Fusion, File, File, Save. Make sure I'm saved up. User saved. I'm going to screenshot it. Control-Shift-4. And now we're good. So now you successfully completed 2.2, and you're on your way to becoming a Fusion Master. Congratulations, and till the next video.